Support comes from ServiceNow. AI is only as powerful as the platform it's built on. With ServiceNow AI platform, your AI, data, and workflows all work together, connecting every corner of your business. To see how you can put AI to work for people, visit servicenow.com/AI-agents. Support for the show comes from Nutrafol, the #1 dermatologist-recommended hair growth supplement brand. 1.5 million people have tried Nutrafol, including me. I've tried it before myself. It's been great. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com and enter the promo code SERVED. That's spelled Nutrafol.com, promo code SERVED. Nutrafol.com, promo code SERVED. Hey everyone, welcome to Serve. This is the recap show, Laver Cup, presented by our friends at ServiceNow. Walk into the studio. Mike and Sean, it's like you guys are like the Walking Dead right now.
Nice little red eye. We got to see the last match. We got to see the tiebreak, and we literally booked it straight to the airport. It was awesome.
Yeah, I caught the early flight because I'm traveling again this week and I needed to see my kids. I was watching on the app on a plane and you guys were feeding me the, Sean, you were real excited.
Yeah, that was incredible.
I have a great clip of Sean.
You do?
Yeah. Man. Great clip of, we'll play it in the show.
There's nothing like live sports.
It'll be our rollout for the show. Stick around.
You guys come away with, an appreciation for what tennis players go through. You're taking a red eye. You're not quite sure when things are going to end. You're racing to the airport. Except none of us have to play. None of us have to play a match today. Also, are we okay doing this? You guys going to be okay without 1,000 fans before you cheering asking for autographs and selfies? Are we going to be okay?
Yeah, I don't think Roger Federer will be coming into the gym.
What if he just walked in right now?
I would.
What if he walked in right
God.
now? He took a red. You didn't see him on your red eye.
He's not. I mean, listen. There's so many great memories, so many great things that we haven't been able to experience before, and one of those things that we can't do from our gym is afford highlights.
Ooh.
Normally. So let's take advantage. This might be the last highlight you ever see on Serve. So Mike, we have the highlights from yesterday with Team World, Team World closing out Team Europe. Fritz getting the job done, but let's do the entire day. And the doubles, Tim Henman came on the show yesterday and basically said, it's over if we don't win the doubles. And you see Casper here. You don't want to get into these exchanges with Carlos Alcaraz because he says, my hands are better than your hands. And look at Ruud, where his return position is. We talked about him going back and how Mickelson could affect it. Against Mickelson's serve, he was able to take it early and then... Okay, pause that for a second, Sean. Sean, in my life... He just hit a drop shot winner on someone that was standing 3 feet from the net.
It was perfect.
In my life, I just need people to understand that Mickelson right there was like I think there was 3 rackets between him and he stuck it. That was a joke. Anyways, go ahead.
Yeah, bow
Yannick knows also. He's like, how did I do that? How did I do that? Yeah, and the draw, this was already over at this point, but we said we were going to see Alcaraz and Ruud. We thought they were their best doubles team. 14 Europe, it ended up being the case. And watch Demon here. So comfortable staying this forehand rally. And then when he turns it, he was doing this all weekend, right? When he turns it, puts on the burners, realizes the opportunity, and puts it away. He basically played cat and mouse with Mensik, right? Kept a lot of space between them, and look at he was trying to get in there right here. Watch how quickly he's able to turn this. One, and now bang. Right, he is making that decision to come in there before Mensik actually hits his shot, and you see him get caught earlier in the rally, and also that little layoff back and to create a little bit of space, and then you have to deal with his speed. Like you can't beat him off of your shoe tops. The Demon. By the way, this guy wasn't on the team 3 weeks ago. Just to be very clear, maybe co-MVP with Taylor Fritz. And then this guy comes out after losing the night before, wins the doubles. Listen, we said on yesterday's show, It's like, oh, has the king been dethroned? No, he hasn't. Just give him a little bit more time. This was an absolute clinic. This is probably not the most clutch performance of the week, not the most important. Well, I guess they were down, so it was the most important match. But this was clinical start to finish. Look at the injection of pace here. Boom. And you got to cover a drop shot while you're waiting for those two forehands, right? This game is so hard. Cerundolo fought to the end. Like, if you had a blind scoreboard here and you saw this point, you would think it'd be like at 5-all in a set. But start to finish, Carlos was dominant. We're going to remember the match he lost to Fritz, but he was 3-1 this week, guys. He was still 3-1 this week. You know,
and wore a breathe right.
And wore a breathe right strip. He wore it for, I know singles is harder than doubles, JW. Because he didn't need the breathe right strip during doubles. Oh, I can't wait for the comments. This is going to be great. It's fine. It's all fine. It is fine. And then we were interested to see the matchup between Taylor Fritz coming off of his win against Alcaraz. Has dominated this matchup against Zverev. Zverev had a rough one against Demon, only winning 5 games, and Fritz was just happy to just play the depth. He was getting a better look at the shots most of the time. Zverev having a hard time making any inroads on this court against Taylor. And Taylor Fritz, by the way, flashing the variety a little bit, like working in the lobs, working in the drop shots a little bit more this week. He says, wait, I don't have any variety? He goes, you don't have any variety.
Clutch too, right? Because this is all on the line. If he lets Zverev win, they go to a 1-set tiebreak.
Correct. This is a closeout match for Fritz, and Zverev looking to push it to a closeout. And listen,
it was so fire when we were there. That energy switched right there.
I feel like Zverev was trying to sell it there. He was trying to take the crowd out of it just a touch. Fritz going to the drop shot again. Like, this is a joke.
What a lob. What a lob.
Where gravity wins at the last second. Just phenomenal stuff from Taylor Fritz. But look at this. He goes double knee, goes full Borg, and it's like 1-all in the break. Oh my gosh.
He won Wimbledon. Oh no.
I was expecting him to go kiss his box in between points there, but anyways, Taylor Fritz just was a beast in this match.
There it is.
Just gets the opportunities. Zverev shorts a forehand a little bit right there. Taylor asked the question, and then to win it all at the Laver Cup. Sees the opportunity. That's it, folks. And he says it's still that big. Look at how big it is, guys. He said it's that big. Caboli was trying to tell him how it was.
Oh, man. What a great win.
Oh, just fantastic stuff.
Dude, I think MVP is shared, co-MVP, Fritz and Demon.
How do you choose between them? Like
co-MVP,
yeah,
right?
Co-MVP.
Taylor lost a doubles match, but like beating Alcaraz, that's the one, right? That's the one that that Team Europe was counting on. And to Carlitos' credit, he finished with the same record as Taylor this week.
Wow,
in total matches, 3-1 and 3-1.
Yeah.
So it's just
one of them got 6 points. Let me ask you, first of all, that was a reference to the Mission burrito he's going to be eating as a celebratory meal when he did this, right?
You mean it's the burrito's this big? How? Because he asked after he beat Carlos, he goes, "How big?
Right.
How big is it? It's this
little
big."
Barbacoa.
Right. Yeah. That was Mission Burrito for sure.
All right. Serious question. Let's just level set. I mean, obviously, I think you're right, Mike. I mean, this is probably a co-MVP situation, but for Taylor Fritz to beat the number 1 player in the world, come back the next day and beat the number 3 player in the world. All right, it's not a major, it's not best of 5, there are no ranking points, but still, 4 sets against 2 of the top 3 players in the world is 4 sets against 2 of the top 3 players. Andy, take this. What do you read into this? I mean, where on the range of sort of how much does this matter?
What matters? Anytime there's 19,000 people in the building and you're playing Carlos Alcaraz and you have the pressure of team and eyeballs and captain and legends and all of that, that amps up the pressure. Like, there's no doubt. The Demon story is to me is equally impressive just because I think they secured him 10 days ago, something like that. So this guy is coming from nowhere. It's not as if he's thinking about Laver Cup. It's not as if, and he comes in and gets 3 points. Like, I don't know how you do it. I don't think it matters who's more MVP-ish than the other person because it's a team event, right? They carried Team World. those two individuals, obviously, props to Cerundolo for getting a win, and props to Fonseca for getting a win. But these two, Demon and Fritz, were Mantle and Maris, for this round. They were fantastic. Props to Andre for getting Demon into the mix. And if you're Team World now, you're like, okay, we beat this team, and we still have Shelton and Paul that didn't play this year. Like, this was a great win for Andre and Team World.
Nice debut for the captain too, huh? We were talking about this yesterday. Not the most demonstrative player. Man, Andre was. That's all the motion and emotion of the players Andre had over there on the sidelines. He was into it. No, but it's interesting. I got some texts from a few former players, and one of them was like, "This is huge for Fritz. He's going to carry this with him for a long time. He now knows he can hang." And another former player from your era said, like, nice weekend for Fritz, but don't read too much into it. So I think it's interesting that even former players are sort of trying to weigh the significance. But boy, Taylor Fritz, I think you're right. The variety. That was really, I thought, pretty top shelf tennis, even if there aren't ranking points on the line.
Yeah, and the thing you look for as you're projecting forward, because I always hear, like, if someone breaks out at World Tour Finals, Dimitrov wins it 1 year, Tsitsipas wins it 1 year, and everyone goes, "This is it. That's going to change everything." There's a lot of space between that, Australia. This court couldn't be more different than a hot day in Australia. So take it for what it's worth, and don't take away something from Fritz, but also let's not project him into the finals of Wimbledon based on something that happened in September. And I would say that about any event, right? The variety is nice to see. Can he do it when it's quicker, when the ball's up out of the zone, mixing the drop shots in, when he doesn't have that check of the ball and a muted bounce? Those are all things, but I think that the biggest takeaway is Taylor Fritz is always in pursuit of more. Right? He's always in pursuit of more. He's using the drop shots because this surface warranted that decision-making. Like, it had to happen because there was that check and people had to defend the ball that was around his waist, right? Moving better. Like, if you compare his movement now to 4 or 5 years ago, it's night and day, right? He's not out. Who is Alcaraz? Who is Sinner? Like, fine. But has he improved his movement 10 to 15% from 4 or 5 years ago? Absolutely, no doubt. And that does not happen by accident. Same with Demon, right? I remember we came on the show after he got run out of the building against Sinner in Australia, and everyone's like, "Oh, Demon," and everyone's like being derogatory about it. I'm like, listen, before this match against Sinner, he was one of the best players in the world. After this match with Sinner, he's one of the best players in the world. Now, is the matchup tough because you can't go through Sinner? How is he going to go around him? He has to defend too many service games? Absolutely. This guy is all heart. He rarely makes bad decisions. Does he have a serve that he can ramp up to 140? No. These two players, it's easy to point to juniors and say, be Carlos Alcaraz, be the fastest guy on earth. Be Sinner, who's this 6'4" Gumby thing with the... No. Point to these two who absolutely maximize every bit, just as much as Sinner and Alcaraz, by the way. Right? I don't know that they're given the body types that are the same. These two, Fritz and Demon, they are an absolute lesson. Show the junior tennis players how to maximize what you have.
I like that. I think there are a lot of ways to go on this. One of them, too, is just, we were there for the whole time starting Thursday. This is really a superior event, is it not? And people can quibble on Twitter about XO, not XO, who should have been invited. The vibe in there, from the competitiveness of the players to the camaraderie, but with a bit of an edge, to the sort of fan palooza. I mean, it wasn't just a match going on inside a stadium. There was a whole sort of celebration of tennis, this was like Coachella for tennis. This is really a net positive. This is really a force of good for the sport. And, now people are, we can think about next year. You mentioned Ben Shelton. I'm thinking, boy, if Jannik Sinner decides to play, that could be interesting. There are a lot of ways we can take this now. There was talk of next year will be in London, but the year after, I kept hearing again and again, we're probably going to Asia. So that's an interesting twist. There's really, I feel like you leave this weekend feeling really good, not just about tennis, not just about the state of the sport, sort of at the highest levels with Carlos and Taylor Fritz, but I feel like you feel really good about the tennis community. Like you and I, we met a lot of really lovely, nice, engaged fans. It's tennis is not social media. I mean, life is not social media, and this was a good encapsulation of that. Really a nice weekend.
Well, let's also level set, right? When you're buying a ticket for a big tennis event, those normally it's talent dependent. If you buy something for a tie, you know, we had ties where we're playing Spain and Rafa had to pull out, or Roger had to pull out, and it's a significant dent to the ticket that you bought. This is like an insurance policy of a ticket, right? We lost two massive names with Shelton and Paul, and there's not a single person who is in that venue who says, you know what, I'm disappointed that, you know, by what I saw, right? When you can accumulate this level of talent on each team with the numbers they do, you're going to have a great ticket. You're going to see great tennis. Fit it into 3 days. You see singles, you see doubles. The scoring allows for it to come down to the wire. As far as a new event that you had to create from scratch, I'm not sure what adjustments I would make to this, John, and I can normally find a problem with anything.
We are going to start a venture fund, or else just do a GoFundMe and have either a separate parallel or a concurrent, who wouldn't want to see a Williams Cup with, I don't know, Venus and Serena are opposing coaches. If we're going to have this celebration of tennis, I was actually talking to one of the organizers who said, look, this is open source code. If somebody wants to do this for women, great. We'd be happy to share our template. But no, I think there are so many wins here. And again, you can't leave this weekend not feeling really good about tennis, sort of big picture, life after the big three, but also just it's a lot of really cool people. It's a lot of really engaged, positive fans. It's just a nice vibe. Good out of the calendar.
Support for this show comes from ServiceNow, who are enabling people to do more fulfilling work, the work they actually want to do. There's a lot of talk about AI out there right now, and a lot of times the AI you hear about feels like it's hard to grasp. But ServiceNow is here to work with people and tackle the boring, busy work that always gets in the way, the stuff that slows you down and keeps you from doing the stuff you actually want to be doing. And they do it with their AI agents. By being built into the ServiceNow platform, they automate millions of repetitive tasks across IT, HR, customer service, and more. You can automate any process with AI-powered workflow generation. That means you can build workflows with reusable components, configurable playbooks, process mining, and advanced decision support. So your people can focus on what really matters, and that's putting AI agents to work for the people. Find out how to get started at servicenow.com/AI-agents. Support for the show comes from Nutrafol. Nothing beats the ego boost that comes with a good hair day. So if you want a whole body approach to tackling hair issues like shedding or thinning, give Nutrafol a try. Nutrafol is the #1 dermatologist recommended hair growth supplement brand, trusted by over 1.5 million people, including me. I've tried Nutrafol before myself, and it's been great. In just 3 to 6 months, you can go from a hat guy to a hair guy with visibly thicker, fuller hair and improved scalp coverage. Nutrafol Men is clinically tested to improve hair growth and quality. So hats off to great hair. For a limited time, Nutrafol is offering our listeners $10 off your first month subscription and free shipping when you go to Nutrafol.com/men and enter the promo code SERVE. Find out why Nutrafol is the leading hair growth supplement brand on the market at Nutrafol.com, spelled Nutrafol.com/men. Promo code SERVE. That's Nutrafol.com/men, promo code SERVED. There's the tennis, there's the energy, there's all that. And at the end of the day, I think the original vision was camaraderie. We have some sound from the captains.
I will say to you that it's been one hell of a week. Thank you for trust. Thank you for buy-in. Thank you for allowing me in your lives for a brief period of time. And I say you have mother privileges now in my life. So what mother privileges means is you call, you ask, and the answer is yes before you ask. I would go to battle with each and every one of you anywhere, anytime. Love you guys.
Mother privileges is one that I probably will repeat.
Yeah, I've never heard that one.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You know, he's been saving that one too.
Yeah.
You know, he thought of it on Tuesday. He's like, God, if we win, I'm going to give him mother privileges. They're going to have it. It means yes, is what it means, guys.
Anytime.
Yeah.
Don't you wish Andre would quit with the hot takes, quit with the pop-offs, and actually try and be a little bit thoughtful and try and come up with something?
Whatever he's selling, you know me. I'm buying it. Yannick maybe not as gratuitous with feelings. I don't know how to, but just play it.
Team World, you know what I like about you? Nothing. Congratulations, guys. For me, as a captain for the first time, it was a beautiful experience. I'm thankful and grateful to be here. I met these wonderful guys. I don't know if you liked it, but 3 days of unbelievable tennis. So it's a lot of respect for you guys. It was fantastic.
But a joke doesn't land with the crowd.
What are you talking about?
Yeah,
I think the crowd all laughed.
I'm just joking. I think it was funny. What's your take, JW?
That's like that may have been the meanest thing he's ever said, or more likely than not, a kind of joke. Kidding, not kidding. Not sure how to react. Did you guys catch? There was a great moment when Zverev was upset about a line call. He thought a serve was out. It was called in. He goes to the chair. He's legitimately, again, for an exhibition, this you don't argue line calls like this. Legitimately upset. And then he looks over to Noah, like, back me up, captain. And Noah sort of said, keep fighting, keep focusing. You got this. Yannick Noah is not the combative personality that's going to get into the foxhole over a line call. But no, the contrast between Noah and Andre that we just got in those clips, that was another one of these themes. That was another storyline this week. They both had a very different approach, not just to sort of mid-match, in-match coaching, but how they sort of led their teams. Very different vibe in those two locker rooms.
Yeah, another thing you don't do during an exhibition is the old double knee Borg celebration.
He also whacked his racket against the bench in one of the changeovers.
His own bench?
Yeah. And everybody in the arena was like, whoa. They were like not expecting it. It was Zverev was in it to win it, man.
He was.
I mean, these guys were in it.
He was disappointed. Listen, I mean, we can say, like, he went into his press conference the other day and he was like, it was just about me, and he was obviously upset. And then we're talking about the double Borging situation. Like, that's funny, but also you can't argue these emotions away. Like, there's no chance we will ever play an exhibition where we're going to be that disappointed or that happy based on the events that were laid out in front of us. One adjustment that Roger and I talked about when he sat down is court surface. Like, is there a world where Zverev can ever win 48% of his first serve points? That's surface dependent, right? There's just no other surface. And Roger even said, maybe we need to look at it. Maybe there's a world where the home team has a little bit more input in the surface. I think, listen, if we can pull one thing out of Davis Cup that was really great and fun, I think it's that. Like, it's Ryder Cup. You choose the course, right? You choose a course that you think benefits your team a little bit. I think there should be some sort of a home court advantage for the teams, and it seemed like Roger was open to that. I think he has a decent, ability to get across what his intentions are for this tournament. UJW?
Yeah, that would add a wrinkle to this. I mean, I don't know how much we want to go down this road. I still think it might be cool to do this. Like, imagine if Sinner played and you have Alcaraz on one team, Sinner on the other, and you sort of drafted like we do the NBA All-Star Game, maybe make a trade at the U.S. Open. All right, so you don't like that?
No, but if I have a hard time with, listen, the player buy-in is the player buy-in. We know about this all year. Like, the fact that we talk about people slamming rackets, that Noah is upset, that Zverev is upset, that Fritz was inspired, that Alcaraz showed up 2 weeks after the U.S. Open. I don't know that you need to change anything as far as the way the teams operate in this rivalry that's now been, I wouldn't want to have to reset the last 9 years and what's built up. Good, bad, ugly. What I want to see is a style of tennis that the surface dictates can have a little bit more variety, right? That's what I would want. I would want, and Roger seemed to think the same thing. In the 90s, there was a lot of talk about the conditions are too fast.
Yeah.
And we're basically just watching people walk back and forth because Becker's serving huge and Ivanisevic is serving huge.
Yeah, and Sampras.
And Pete's serving huge. And I actually remember our first two Wimbledon finals. I remember 2004, you're coming in after the rain delay, you're coming in all the time. Like, you used to make the adjustment, you start coming in all the time. And then 2005, I'm like, okay, I'm expecting kind of the same because it worked for him. The conditions I thought were much slower to where You played that match mostly from the baseline,
yeah.
right? Is there a need to correct court surface to bring in different elements of the game?
Yes. Definitely.
I feel like you're on the fence.
No. I just had this conversation this morning, with Riley Opelka. I told him it's not okay, and I fault myself because I part of the decision making of the court surface speed here. But it can't be that he's kick serving on the outside indoors against Casper Ruud. Casper Ruud actually can go back, even has that option indoors to go return Riley's serve, which is probably arguably one of the best serves in the game right now, and he returns it from hip height and just hit its cross-court passing shot winner on the return, on the break point.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be a little bit more difficult to be able to do that. And I think that's why we, the tournament directors, we need to fix it. We need to have not only fast court, but what we would want to see is Alcaraz or Sinner figure it out on lightning fast, and then have the same match on super slow and see how that matches up. And that's how the ranking points used to be. Remember, back in the day, only 12 tournaments counted. So everybody would play on their favorite surface.
They would stack their surfaces.
Yeah, and then they would sometimes meet. And those were the best matches, when you had the attacker against the retriever. And now everybody plays similar. It's because the tournament directors have allowed, with the ball speed and the court speed, that every week is basically the same. And that's why you can just go from winning, French, Wimbledon, US Open, and just play the same way.
And obviously my bias is going to shine through here, but there's some tool, and I'll forget what it is, but it's similar to like a step meter that measures greens in golf. Davis Cup back in the day, they used to have that, and there was this little thing they used, and it had to be, it basically measured if the court was too fast. And I said, that's great, that's responsible. I go, now show me the measurement for when it's too slow.
There's none.
Didn't exist. It didn't exist.
Yeah.
Like, we've never thought of that. I go, that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Like, we need variation. Because then, you're telling me someone like a Sinner or Alcaraz, with how talented they are and how great they are already,
figure it out.
they're going to figure it out, and it's going to be more fun to watch.
I think so too. Obviously, I understand the safety net that the tournament directors see, making the surface slower is for the weaker player. He has to hit extra amazing shots to beat Sinner, whereas if it's quick, he can only maybe blast a few and at the right time, and he gets past. So that's what the tournament directors are like. Oh, I kind of like have Sinner and Alcaraz in the finals. It kind of works for the game.
That's the thing. I was going to say that's the entire thing. Is basically you give a surface where it kind of exposes Carlos's paintbrush even more, where he has time and he can play all the variety of shots. He's going to win on slow. He's going to win on fast.
But I think we'll get there again. I feel like
I hope so.
Yeah, well, I think we'll figure it out.
I was asking the question, would we like to see faster services in the context of like tour, January to November? And I guess he took that and said, we're guilty of it here. It's a little bit slow and it's a little bit dead. I would like to see that adjustment made where it's like a little bit more of a crapshoot, where you and I are there on a Thursday going, well, the reports are, we knew it was low and slow going in because that's what it's always been.
Well, here's one for you. I think countries tend to, it's not uniform, but countries tend to have a tennis identity. With this tournament, it would be really interesting to see what they Ben Shelton's choice surface is not Francisco Cerundolo's choice surface. It would be really interesting. So
100%. I think that's really fun. It's not as if you're, automatically playing it on clay or automatically playing it on, and it has to be indoors. So you're going to get some hard court variant most likely, right? Because that's what you have to build inside of an arena, and you're not going to bring weather into the situation, and that would be stupid for a made for TV type event. So I don't know, like you two knuckleheads that had never been to this thing before, Sean and Mike, like what were your takeaways? Like good, bad, ugly. You spent a week there. Maybe it was your first exposure to it in the building, matches going down to the wire yesterday. Sean, start. Like what was, as a kind of a new-ish serious tennis fan in the last 18 months, what were your takeaways?
This was my first team tennis event, and I feel like that was really cool to see. Mike and I were talking in the Uber one time. We were talking about how it's so interesting to watch these individual athletes who are in an individual sport play on a team once a year. Mm-hmm. And just to see them get into a team vibe, and from me, it adds a lot to it. Like when you see Mickelson like stand up in between points, he's getting fired up for Fritz. That gets me fired up.
Yeah, you saw like Carlitos and Mensik shoving each other around and like getting fired up. You know, there was a moment where Zverev was on the bench and Carlos was kind of giving him some advice. It was a critical point in the final. And Zverev looks around and he calls over for Casper. He goes, Casper, come over here. He goes, what would you do on the second serve? And he's like, basically like, fuck it, dude. Like, do it. He's like, just do it. You know, he was like, how should I play this? And it was just, you look at that and you're like, oh my God, these are like three of the best tennis players on the planet. And they're like, how do I play this guy?
Yeah.
And like, that was awesome.
Well, it's also interesting because you get to the point and, you know, I don't know what else we have for housekeeping to end the show, but like, I think it's interesting also, Carlos comes over and he could tell Zverev like, oh, I would hit a forehand 110 and then I would hit a drop shot floater. And
it's pretty much what he tried to tell him.
And then Zverev goes, nah, fuck that, bro. Casper.
He's like, where should I position myself on the second serve?
I don't know that I have that one, Carlitos. Can we get Casper over here? He kind of resides, you know.
Office politics.
Yeah, there's a hugging the baseline deficit with Casper also. Can you come here and tell me what you would do? But I think that's the magic of it, right? Like, I don't know that I would automatically source the opinion of the best player, right? Because maybe the way they view it is more difficult. Like Steph Curry approaches it very differently than someone who has a range of 10 feet around the basket. You wouldn't automatically go to Steph Curry and say, what do you see? He goes, I see an opportunity from 28 feet to lob one up. Okay, well, maybe not. You know, bring someone else in.
We're hitting on the magic of this whole event, though.
Yeah.
Well, I think, and the energy was incredible, right? I think the energy was the first couple nights, it was much more full. I think they were competing against a 49ers game, I believe, and there was also a Dodgers Giants game that was going on at the same time. So it didn't look as full, but when you looked up into the rafters, it was super full. Yeah. I think the lower bowl just wasn't as full for the last, but the energy was there. I mean, people were chanting like, let's go Europe, let's go. And you're just like, who are all these people?
Yeah, where did you
let's
come
go
from?
Team World. Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
But it felt, having been to Wimbledon this year, having been to the US Open again, it's just a different vibe, but it felt like more of a compact, more Americanized experience. And then I just love the fact that you don't have to leave your seat and you get 4 straight matches of exceptional tennis in one day. It's a great format.
Yeah. We also had an unbelievable team this week in Laver Cup. What we did with the live shows is not what we normally do, right? We don't normally have to kick the highlights. We don't normally have to burn shot clock because we know Federer is coming as a surprise guest and no one else does, right? These shows are more technical. They're more challenging than sitting in the studio and kind of frankly just bullshitting a little bit. So shout out your team, Mike, and your team, Sean, that did such a great job during this week and kind of helped us deliver this product.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone over at Laver Cup who invited us out, everyone at Service Now who made this possible, we wouldn't have had it without the group that they helped put together. I think we worked at this for the better part of 3 months, really weekly meetings with great groups of people, bringing in a great director in Joe Lynch, bringing in my buddy Seth Shapiro to help us produce and do the highlights every day. And really then just leaning on Sean and Mike Pacheco and Sophie and Ella. And so great job, guys.
You guys crushed. And we also had Keith Krieger, our friend, who is one of the best potters in the world. Intern Keith, but unbelievable photography. So all the clips that you've seen and the stills that you've seen on social where we're throwing captions out really added another layer. I had a fun time just seeing us flex different muscles completely outside of my comfort zone and skill set. But our team is fantastic. Hopefully we were thinking about doing maybe a best of show that we can release where it's funny clips from the show, behind the scenes when we're doing team dinners. It was just such a great experience for us as a team building exercise, as learning how to do different things. I won't say well yet, but definitely better. Yeah, go ahead, JW.
Yeah, no, and let's while we're throwing flowers, thanks to everyone that came out. It was really it really added to the environment. It was really fun and gratifying meeting so many of you. If we're doing a clip show, the highlight of my week was a woman who said, "Could you please sign my hat? I've already got Sean and producer Mike. Now all I need is you and Andy." It was really a joy, and everybody that came out. I mean, people were there an hour before we even set up, sort of pressed against the rail. It was a little bit it's a little out of body, but all the fans that came, it was really appreciated.
Yeah, and next week we're gonna have Tony Godsick on. He's gonna kind of wrap up how it went for that, and all the early reports are showing that this is the highest grossing, the largest revenue since London, or ever since the ideation of this event. So I'm excited to hear what he has to say about it and what his perspective was as somebody who lives and breathes it.
Yeah. Well, short version of this net is that we had an awesome time. We were thankful for the opportunity. We hope you all enjoyed it as Serve listeners. Thank you for being here every week. Thank you for Serve fans, as John said on Thursday. Like, we walk in an hour before and there's nothing there. I'm like, no one's going to come to this.
Every time.
No one's going to, I say it, every single time. No one's coming to this.
And you guys shock him every single time.
I was like, it's going to be weird when I'm talking to no one, even though we always talk to no one. Anyway, this has been Serve, brought to you by ServiceNow. We loved it. Had a great time. Look for our best of show. Sean is so good at that stuff, so I'm sure it'll be full of memories, humor, and our guests just ripping on me. #beefneck. Thank you. Thanks to ServiceNow for their support. ServiceNow wants to help people do the fulfilling work they actually want to do. Work like hosting this podcast. You know what people don't want to do? Boring, busy work. Now with AI agents built into the ServiceNow platform, you can automate millions of repetitive tasks in every corner of your business. IT, HR, and more. So your people can focus on the work that they want to do. That's putting AI agents to work for people. It's your turn. Get started at servicenow.com/AI-agents.